Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bexar County Court of Law number 6 in the Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court at our plea and motion to revoke probation docket. We have 3 pleas in Spanish and 1 motion to revoke probation case in Spanish. If you are not personally talking to me at this point, please ensure your microphone is turned off. You get a lot of background. Representing the state on all cases will be Ms. Alexis O'Connor. And the Spanish cases we're going to take up initially are pleas on State of Texas versus Feliciano Sanchez Barrientos, cause 656-876, represented by Ms. Bridget Garza. Cause number 649-903, State of Texas versus El Fego Fernandez, represented by Mr. Thomas Limon. And cause number 644-808, State of Texas versus Jorge Flores Velea, represented by Mr. Scott McCrum. And after those are completed, we'll do each of those one at a time. We will take up State of Texas versus Sergio Diaz, which is going to be cause 639-414, which is a motion to revoke probation. And Mr. Diaz is represented by Mr. Adam Flores. Let's do those originally, and then we'll talk about the pleas and the MTRs that we have pending after that. First case we're going to look at is cause number 656-876, State of Texas versus Feliciano Sanchez Barrientos. Mr. Barrientos, I'm looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference that is supposedly signed by both you and your attorney, Ms. Garza. Is this your signature on this document, sir? I'm not hearing anything. Does that mean something? All right.
Did you hit English, Your Honor?
I did.
There we go.
There we go. It says English.
Sí.
Yes. Hold on a second. Let me go over there.
Sí, sí, lo estoy escuchando. A la señora no.
¿No la escuchas a
No,
ella?
aquí no está.
Can you hear me, Norma? Oh, but it's coming from his cell phone in the other room. It's not from this device. There we go. Right there.
Sí, ahora sí le escucho, ahora sí. Sí.
Okay, and Ms. Garza, as attorney for Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, is this also your signature on the document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, the next document I'm looking at is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, is this your signature on this document also?
Sí.
Thank you. By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Ms. Garza, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
Así es, sí.
And also, Mr. Barrientos, I have actually two documents for you, both entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions. One is in English and one is in Spanish. Are these your signatures on the back of each of these documents, sir?
Sí.
Ms. Garza, as attorney for Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, are you a United States citizen, sir?
No.
Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere for the offense charged may result in your deportation, your exclusion from admission to this country, or the denial of naturalization under federal law. Have you discussed with your attorney, Ms. Garza, and been made aware of the mentioned consequences? And are you still knowingly wanting to enter a plea to this offense?
Sí.
Ms. Garza, as attorney for Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, have you had the ability to discuss with him the possible problems he may encounter with regard to his immigration status if he enters a plea to this crime?
I have, Your Honor.
And after that discussion, did he indicate to you he wanted to go forward with a plea bargain with the state at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Garza, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, they have.
Okay, state in clause 656-876, do you have a motion?
Yes, Judge, the state moves to add a count 2 of obstruction, waive count 1, and proceed on count 2.
Okay, this started off as a driving while intoxicated first offense. That sound right?
Correct?
Yes,
Judge?
Your Honor.
It's not a greater than 1.5, correct?
Correct.
Take motion to amend the information and add paragraph 2 alleging obstruction of a highway. Objection from the defense is granted. State's next motion to waive paragraph 1 and proceed on paragraph 2 alleging obstruction of a highway. No objection from the defense is also granted. Therefore, Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, the charge of obstruction of a highway, how do you plead, sir?
No me opongo.
Is there an agreement in this case, state?
12 months deferred adjudication, an $850 fine plus court costs, 48 hours of community service, EWI education, DIP, CAD/SNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half the term.
Garza, is that your understanding of the plea bargain?
It is, Your Honor.
Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of obstruction of a highway. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold the finding of guilt. Place you on 1 year, deferred adjudication probation, assessing an $850 fine plus court costs, 48 hours of community service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, outpatient drug, and require you to utilize the Smart Start Mobile home interlock at 4 blows a day for 6 months, 1/2 term. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Sanchez Barrientos?
Nothing further from the state.
Susan, do you want to chat with him about probation?
Yes, sir. Can you let him know that he will receive a communication from probation intake within 48 hours, either by telephone, text, or email, as far as when his orientation will be. If he does not hear from them by close of business Monday, first thing Tuesday morning, he will need to contact probation at this telephone number, 210-335-7446, and let them know that he was granted probation today and that he needs an orientation date.
Can we
It
make
is
sure,
his, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I want to make sure that you have his correct telephone number and email.
It's whatever he put on his data sheet. I don't have access to that information.
Okay, let me verify that. Yes. Yes, it's accurate.
Okay, and if he fails to get in contact with them, if they don't reach him, then the judge could issue a warrant for his arrest. If he has problems with anything, he can always reach out to you and you can contact the court and we'll see what's going on. Any other questions?
No.
Sí, sí entendí.
Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Sanchez Barrientos?
Nothing further from defense, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Sanchez Barrientos, and thank you, Ms. Garza.
Thank
Every
you.
attorney and every defendant today that's getting ready to go on probation, I want to take down that number that Susan just gave you. We end up answering that question a dozen times when we have these plea situations. It's 210-335-7446. Is that correct, Sue?
Yes, sir, it is.
Then everybody's got that. We're good to go. All right. The next case I have is cause number 649903, State of Texas versus Elfego Hernandez, represented by Mr. Thomas Limon. And let me find that one.
Sí. Ok.
Oops, hang on. I'm sorry. Clause number 649903, State of Texas versus Elfego Torres Hernandez. Mr. Elfego Torres Hernandez and Mr. Limon. I'm now looking at a document titled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference that is purportedly signed by both Mr. Hernandez and his attorney, Mr. Limon. This document is in English, and I understand that Mr. Hernandez is a Spanish speaker, so I want to confirm A, that he did sign it, and B, that he understood what he was signing. So I'll ask Mr. Limon that question. Mr. Torres Hernandez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Sí.
And Mr. Limon, as attorney for Mr. Torres Hernandez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is, Your Honor.
As Mr. Torres Hernandez, attorney, and able to speak Spanish, were you able to ensure that he understood what he was signing when he signed this defendant's consent to plea by video conference, which is only in English?
Yes, Your Honor.
11, para allá para atrás, para la Delgado. Sí, vive por aquí.
Okay, you still got everybody online? Where am I getting my noise? Is that our interpreter or something?
Las enfermeras ya la semana que entra.
I think somebody else is unmuted.
Una semana. Me
Let me see who I can find.
Anyone who is not talking to me right now on Zoom, please ensure that your microphone is turned off. All right, we're good. Okay, back on the record on 649903, State of Texas versus Elfego Torres Hernandez. Mr. Torres Hernandez, the next document I'm looking at is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonition that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. One of these documents is in English and one of these documents is in Spanish. Is this your signature on the back of each of these two documents, sir?
Sí.
By signing these documents, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Mr. Limon, so that in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct, sir?
Sí.
Mr. Limon, as attorney for Mr. Torres Hernandez, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, and yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Torres Hernandez, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Sí.
Okay. And Mr. Limon, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Torres Hernandez to the charge of driving while intoxicated with a blood or breath alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. How do you plead, sir?
Judge, we have a motion to waive the enhancement.
Oh, I do want to see that now. State, you have a motion, go ahead.
Yes, the state moves to waive the enhancement and proceed as a DWI first.
No objection from the defense, that will be granted. Let me try again. Mr. Torres Hernandez, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, sir?
Sí, culpable.
Okay, his paperwork says no contest. Defense counsel, you want to enter no contest or guilty?
No contest, Your Honor.
Court accepts the plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. And Pat, on his waiver of constitutional rights and court's admonitions document, it alleges the wrong crime. It alleges DWI greater than 1.5. It should say DWI, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. I will let them know.
We'll administratively correct that.
I will, Your Honor.
Okay. And state, is there an agreement for Mr. Torres Hernandez, please?
6/12, a $500 fine, but $250 are probated. Court costs, 24 hours community service, DWI education, DIP, CATSNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half the term.
And Mr. Lamont, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Torres Hernandez, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated, first offense. I find you guilty. I assess 6 months in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year. A $500 fine, probating $250 of that, plus court costs. 24 hours of community service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, outpatient drug course, and using the Smart Start mobile home breath testing device at 4 blows a day for 1/2 the term, which is 6 months. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Torres Hernandez?
Nothing further from the state.
And Mr. Lamone, do you have anything further? Is that it?
Nothing further from defense,
Okay.
Your Honor.
And we are correct that Mr. Torres Hernandez is a United States citizen. Is that correct, Mr. Lamone?
I believe so, yes. Yes, sir.
Sí.
Would y'all confirm that? I've had issues in the past where the defendant didn't understand my question, and they said they were U.S. citizens and they weren't, and I just want to confirm that he is a U.S. citizen.
Ciudadano americano.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfecto. Gracias, anyway. All right, we're good on that one. Next case is called, and they understand how to get in touch with probation. Is that correct? Mr. Lamone, you're going to take care of that one for him.
Sure.
All good. Okay. Next case is called 644-808, State of Texas versus Jorge Flores Zelaya, represented by Mr. Scott McCrum. And the first document I need Mr. Flores Zelaya to identify for his signature on for me is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. Yes.
He's muted. He's muted.
I'm asking him to unmute.
Is Mr. Flores Zelaya in the Bexar County Jail currently?
No,
No.
Your Honor.
He's not. Okay, good. Can he hear us at this time?
He can hear, he just muted.
Okay, would you please tell Mr. Flores Zelaya to turn his microphone on, please?
Sí, escucho. Permítame.
There you go.
There you go. He's good now.
Okay. He's ready to judge.
Mr. Flores Zelaya, can you
Sí,
hear me,
que-
sir?
repita. Sí,
All right, great. Mr. Flores Zelaya, I'm looking at a document titled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. The document is in English, but what it accomplishes is it allows us to have a Zoom hearing on your plea. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
sí,
And Mr. McCrum, as attorney for Mr. Flores Zelaya, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir, Judge. And for the record, I think we resubmitted one of those documents in Spanish that he signed.
Okay, I'm not seeing it in my packet. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I just want to ensure he understands his rights. with regard to all
Yes,
this stuff.
yes, sir.
And thank you, Mr. McCrum, and thank you, Mr. Flores Zelaya. Mr. Flores Zelaya, the next document I'm looking at is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court Admonition. It purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. One of these documents is in English and one is in Spanish. Are these your signatures on the back of both of these documents, sir?
Sí.
By signing these documents, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Mr. McCrum. So that in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on these documents. Is that correct?
Sí.
Mr. McCrum, as attorney for Mr. Flores Zelaya, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, sir, Judge. I do believe he is.
Mr. Flores Zelaya, are you a United States citizen, sir?
No.
Mr. Flores Zelaya, if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere for the offense charged may result in your deportation, your exclusion from admission to this country, or the denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Flores Zelaya, have you discussed with your attorney, been made aware of the mentioned consequences, and are you still now knowingly wanting to enter a plea to this offense?
Sí.
Mr. McCrum, as attorney for Mr. Flores Zelaya, have you had the ability to discuss with him the possible problems he may encounter with regard to his immigration status if he enters a plea to this crime?
Yes, sir, I have.
And after your discussion with him, did he indicate to you he wanted to go forward with a plea bargain with the state?
Yes, sir, he did.
Okay. And Mr. McCrum, as attorney for Mr. Flores Zelaya, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
They have.
Okay. State, looks like you have a motion on Mr. Flores Zelaya case.
Correct, Judge. The state moves to add a count 2 of obstruction, waive count 1, and proceed on count 2.
State's motion to amend the information and adding paragraph 2 alleging obstruction of a highway. No objection from the defense is granted. And state's further motion to waive count 1 and proceed on count 2, obstruction of a highway. No objection from the defense is granted. Therefore, Mr. Flores Zelaya, to the charge of obstruction of a highway, how do you plead?
Culpable.
And state, is there an agreement for Mr. Flores Zelaya?
12 months deferred adjudication and $850. Yes. 12 months deferred adjudication, an $850 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service, DWI education, DIP, CAD/SNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half the term.
Mr. McCrum, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flores Zelaya, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the offense of obstruction of a highway. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold the finding of guilt. Place you on 1 year deferred adjudication probation, assess an $850 fine plus court costs, 48 hours of community service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, outpatient drugs, and require you to utilize a Smart Start mobile interlock breath testing device at 4 blows a day for 6 months or 1/2 your term. So that would be 6 months. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Flores Zelaya?
Nothing further from the state.
No, Your Honor.
And Scott, you've got all that contact information on the probation department. You know how reliable they are in contact.
Yes, sir, I have the number.
All right, well, good. Thank you very much, and just best of luck, Mr. Flores Zelaya, and thank you, Mr. McCrum. Y'all are excused.
Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to take up A motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision of Mr. Sergio Alvarado Diaz, cause 639414, represented by Mr. Adam Flores.
I'm sorry. Yes, Your Honor. I need to confer with the state, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I need to confer with the state for a minute.
You want to confer with the state right now in the middle of our hearing?
Well, it's the MTR, Your Honor.
Yeah, and the idea is you're supposed to confer with the state before we actually have it set. Is Nick with us today?
Your Honor, I can get him in.
Alexis, if one of you can chat with him and then we can continue, I want to get my interpreter cut loose. But if Mr. Flores only can take a couple of minutes, I'll work him in here as long as he talks to one of you.
Okay, I will get him in now.
Can't really continue without, I mean, you're not going to talk to Alexis because that's why I go in the chat room. Put Alexis and Mr. Flores in the chat room. In the future, Mr. Flores, you got to do this before you show up for your hearing. We don't have time to do this now.
Yes, Your Honor. I understand.
Consider yourself admonished.
Yes, Your Honor.
Alexis, you're in 3, go in 3, and I'll put Mr. Flores in 3.
Y'all have 5 minutes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Everybody else, 5-minute breaks. Welcome if you got them.
Judge Christian, Joseph States in here. During this 5-minute break, could you potentially admonish Monica's clients? Pat's tried to help me with Sean Clark. He wouldn't unmute. His video is enabled, but I don't know what the picture is. He didn't sign plea paperwork about, I mean, Monica's tried to call him. He didn't answer, but he's on Zoom. I just need to see if he's going to sign the paperwork, if he's going to take a plea or not, but he's not. He wasn't responding to Pat.
Hey, Mr. Clark, it says you're with us. It's got a fuzzy picture and it says your microphone's turned off. If you're with us and you can hear me, would you turn your microphone on?
Hi.
John Clark, come in, turn your microphone on. There you are.
Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Great. Mr. Staten, you want to chat with him about what your questions are?
Breakout room, if I could go in there with Sean
Of
Clark.
course, I will put you
Well,
in.
I can. I thought my attorney was going to be present.
Monica Guerrero is in federal court, Del Rio. I work for Monica Guerrero. We need to find out if you're going to sign plea paperwork, if you're going to take a plea or
Okay,
not.
Mr. Clark, I'm going to put you in a breakout room number 4. And Mr. Stateson will go in there.
Hello.
Okay, let me find you so I can put you in there. Joseph, go into 4 and talk to him.
All right, thank you.
Nicholas is in, Your Honor.
Say again?
Nicholas is in. He is in.
We're ready, Judge.
Okay.
Ms. Flores, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's go back on the record on cause. And we have our interpreter ready? We got Norma going? All right, we're all good. Once again, this is cause 639-414, State of Texas versus Sergio Diaz, represented by Mr. Adam Flores. Mr. Diaz and Mr. Flores, I'm now looking at a document titled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference, which allegedly has both your signatures on it. This document is in English. Mr. Diaz, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Sí.
And Mr. Flores, as attorney for Mr. Diaz, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Flores, because this document's in English and Mr. Flores is a Spanish speaker, were you able to explain to him what he was signing so that he understands he's consenting to having this hearing by video conference today?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The next document I'm looking at is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Diaz?
Sí.
And Mr. Diaz, I also have a document both in English and in Spanish. Is this your signature on each of these documents, sir?
Sí.
And same question for Mr. Flores, as attorney for Mr. Diaz. Is this your signature on each of these documents, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, once again, cause number 639414, motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision on Sergio Alvarado Diaz, representing the Bexar County District Attorney's Office as Assistant Criminal District Attorney, Mr. O'Connor, and representing the Bexar County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who I will swear at this time. Ms. Gross, please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay. And my understanding, Mr. Flores, this is an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Would that be accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Diaz, on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how do you plead, sir?
I believe he's gonna say true, Your Honor. He's gonna say true.
All right, court accepts the plea of true. And Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Diaz's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Diaz has been reporting as directed. We last saw him June 2nd, 2021. He has paid $400 towards his fees. He has a balance of $783 and is current at this time. We have no proof of completion of any of his 36 hours of community service. We have no proof of enrollment or completion of DWI education, victim impact panel, or CATSNP classes. He submitted 3 negative drug tests. He failed to submit to 1 drug test. He is currently on Smart Start Mobile, blowing 4 times per day. He has had 4 skip tests and high bracs ranging from 0.104 down to 0.038 over a 4.5 hour time period. The probation department officer is recommending that he be continued on probation.
Okay, defense, Mr. Flores, what's going on with Mr. Diaz and drinking and all that?
Your Honor, he had apparently there was a birthday party and he thought there was an exception, but now he understands that there's no exception regardless if there's a birthday party or not.
All right.
Your Honor, just for the record, that occurred at 7:57 in the morning.
Okay, Your Honor.
And it didn't clear out until almost 1 p.m.
Must have been a good party. Okay, we're blowing legally intoxicated. That's my problem. Is this one day is what we're looking at, Ms. Gross? One
Yes, Your Honor.
violation day?
Yes, on April the 13th of 2021.
And he apparently went on probation in February of 21, so he's gonna be on to February of 22. That's 14 months.
Yes,
May
until
of
April
22
3rd.
looks like long time to go. Mr. Flores, do I have permission to talk to your client, Mr. Diaz?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Diaz, are we gonna quit drinking?
Sí.
Sure. Mr. Diaz, are you going to stop drinking?
Sí, señor.
All right. Good answer. State recommendation.
Along with probation, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Diaz, in cause 639-414, the court accepts your plea of true to the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I deny the state's motion to revoke your deferred adjudication. Order you continued on deferred adjudication probation with all prior requirements. I'm going to give Mr. Diaz a 30-day sanction in the Bexar County Jail. However, I'm going to hold that in abeyance. If we have any more drinking problems, he's got 30 days in jail he owes me. Mr. Flores, is that okay with you?
Yes, Your Honor. That's fine, Your Honor.
Is Mr. Flores working?
Yes, he's working. I believe he's a mechanic, Your Honor.
All right. As long as he's working and not drinking, we're all good. I want substantial compliance in all other areas. Any courses or programs he's not registered for yet, he needs to be registered for within 10 days. He may not start within 10 days, but he needs to be registered for them. Susan, what programs are those exactly? All of them?
Yes, Your Honor. DWI Education, Victim Impact Panel, and CATSNP.
He needs to be registered for all those and start participating. He's waited an awfully long time to start doing that.
Yes, Your Honor.
I think the vast majority of those he can do on Zoom. Can he not, Susan, at this time?
I believe some classes are still available via Zoom. He will also need to get referred for his community service to get started on that, and or request a donation list where he can donate for those hours at $10 per hour.
Susan, in 30 days, if he has not complied with my order to be registered for all these things within 10 and start doing all these programs, I want you to bring it back to my attention, and we'll file another MTR on Mr. Diaz, and the outcome will end probably be less fun as the one is today.
Yes, Your Honor. We understand. He's on call today, Your Honor, to his probation officer, Your Honor.
Judge, are we going to be increasing the blows?
Yeah, crank him up to 6 blows a day. And Mr. Flores, here's what this is going to happen. He's going to be losing sleep at 6 blows a day. He's going to be blowing every 4 hours. Now, once he shows me a 30-day period of time, that could be 30 days from today, when he has not missed any blows and he has not shown any high bracks for alcohol, I'll crank him back down to 4 blows a day. I won't know he's done that. If he does that, he's got to tell you, you got to tell me, I got to confirm it with Ms. Rose. And if that's all true, I'll crank him back down to 4 that same day. Fair enough?
Fair enough. He's gonna start today, Your Honor, I believe.
Well, that may take him 24 to 48 hours. They do it over the phone, I think, just crank up his blows to 6. And if he misses any more urinalysis tests, and Susan, we've got him on monthly UAs right now, do we not?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right, put him on weekly UAs, and he's got to show me 4 clean UAs. That's 4 weeks of UAs. And once he shows me 4 clean UAs, I'll put him back on monthly again.
Yes, Your Honor.
He was blowing legally intoxicated on the machine. So the textbook solution to stop that is either, 6 months in jail or a scram device at $350 a month.
Yes,
But Mr. Flores talked me out of that, so we'll see if I did good trusting him or not. Fair enough, Mr. Flores?
Yes, Your Honor. Does he have to take this machine back to the whatever it is so he could do more blows?
Ms. Rhodes can explain it, but I think they do it with the same way they monitor. It's either some kind of a satellite deal or telephone line deal, but they can do it without him having to go in, is my understanding. Susan, does that sound right?
Yes, Mr. Flores, if you can advise your client, he will get probably an email from his officer within the next 24 hours to sign his amended conditions. And his officer will be changing his blow times and will be emailing him or calling him on the phone to let him know what those new times will be. But no, he does not need to take that device back to Smart Start.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, Mr. Flores, I want you to go over each one of these requirements I've set out for Mr. Diaz. You can do it now in a chat room, or you can, do it next week or whenever you want to get together.
No, he's in my office right now, Your Honor. He's at my
perfect.
office.
Then if you would go over those with him today, make sure that he has any questions, you'll answer them. And if not, get back to Ms. Gross for me on them, and we'll be happy to answer.
Yes, Your Honor. May I ask permission to recall the warrant, Your Honor? He does have a warrant.
The warrant will be recalled by operation of law, but I'll go ahead and recall the warrant. Any other bad things I did to him, probably.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
And he will not hear from his officer today because I'm going to be tied up in hearings all afternoon, and the officer probably won't have the email till tomorrow morning.
Okay, yes. What email did you have on file for him?
I'm not real sure. I don't have that information readily handy.
Okay.
If they don't email, then they'll call, but they'll get in touch with him one way or another. And if he doesn't hear anything by maybe 2 o'clock tomorrow, he should probably call his officer.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's take a 5-minute break and we're gonna start knocking out these pleas. The ones we're gonna take up initially. State of Texas versus Nicholas Rios, 656-814, represented by Fernando Trevino. Does Fernando show up today?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Okay, then I guess we're not starting. And Norma, thank you for your help. As far as I know, that's our last Spanish case, is it not, Pat?
Yes, it is.
Thanks for your help. You're dismissed. Okay, did Nathan Slimane show up today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. First case is our first case is gonna be our VTC case, which is State of Texas versus Paul Solano, 655-620, with Michael Goins. I see Mike out there. Y'all ready to proceed? Y'all gonna be my number one. Then my number two is gonna be State of Texas versus Stephanie Torres with Nathan Slimane, 634-471. Number three is Alexis Garcia. We have
Your Honor, Alexis Garcia is having trouble logging in. She keeps getting kicked out, so she's not in yet.
Then I guess it won't be Miss Garcia. How about Sean Clark? They're still talking, or
I don't know.
I need to approach you, Your Honor, if now's a good time.
Hello? Hello?
Did you get an answer
Judge?
whether you wanted to do a plea today or not?
I was going to ask for a reset, sir. I was going to ask for a reset.
He would not respond to.
Hey, Mr. Clark, chill out for a minute. Let your attorney talk. Go ahead, Joe.
He would not respond whether he would sign plea paperwork or not. He kept asking for a reset and wanted to talk to Monica. And I said, Monica's trying to call him. He wouldn't answer. And he says that it was the opposite. But Monica's told me she's tried calling him and he's not responding.
Hey, Mr. Clark, before I let you go for the day,
yes, sir.
I'm about this close to issuing a warrant for you, and that would be bad. I want you to go back and chat with Mr. States in a chat room, and just if you don't want to enter a plea, that's okay. I just need to know what you want to do. I don't want you to keep your attorneys on pins and needles trying to figure it out. So just be as honest as you can be with Mr. Stateson, then come back. And the probability is we'll reset for a week, and then y'all can let me know what you want to do. If you feel more comfortable with Judge Guerrera, that's fine with us. That's fine with Mr. Stateson, no problem.
No, I wasn't uncomfortable with the attorney. I don't want to change the attorney. I was just going to ask for a longer reset, which is like 30 days. I guess Mr. Stateson wasn't understanding my. So
okay. You're going to have to do this. I'm going to give you until next Tuesday at 2:00, and that's going to be 15th. It looks like
7th.
22nd. It's the 15th. 15th. It's going to be the 15th. I need an answer what y'all want to do. I don't care what you want to do. If you want a jury trial, that's fine with me. If you want to work a deal, that's fine with me. But Joseph, get up with Judge Guerrero and let her talk with Mr. Clark, and then by next Tuesday, let me know what y'all want to do.
All right, got it, Judge.
Okay,
Maybe
Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, is that okay with you?
Yes, sir.
All good. Y'all cut loose.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Then I've got 641-885, State of Texas versus Hussam Al-Masri with Jeannie Bloomster. We have Jeannie with us today. She was here earlier, wasn't she? Jeannie, are you with us? Jeannie Bloomster, going once.
She was on, Your Honor.
Is Hussam Al-Masri with us today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you know where your attorney went, sir?
She checked in, Your Honor. She might have had to get off. I don't know.
Okay, well, if as and when she comes back, somebody let me know.
Okay, Your Honor.
Al-Masri just kind of hang out for a while with us, and let's see if she comes back. I think she will. She probably got emergency. And we got Mr. Arturo Martinez, 615-523, represented by Mr. James Myrat. And James, are you not? I see you there. Okay, all good.
Yeah.
And I've got 644-205, State of Texas versus Marbella Lopez Mercedes with Andreas Campion. Is Andreas with us today? I see his little name there.
Yeah, I'm here, Your Honor.
And the last plea I've got is the State of Texas versus Priscilla Mata, 645-339, represented by Michael Goins. And I see Mike.
We're here, Your Honor.
Good on that one. So give me 5 minutes to get organized, and we're going to come back and do these pleas in mass fashion. Damn.
Judge Christian, this is Joel Richardson. I'm ready on John Flores. I didn't hear his name mentioned.
He's
Yeah.
an MTR, Your Honor.
MTR, you're going next. I'll give you the pleas first, Joel, then the MTRs, okay?
Okay, I just want to, may I be excused for maybe 15 minutes? I need to go to,
You have time.
15 minutes. I need to go some little consultation on, shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, but I will
That's
be
fine,
back.
Joe. You can go. You have
Thank
time.
you. I will be back.
Okay. Mr. Roman? Mr. Roman?
I'm here.
Okay. Alexis is still having trouble, Mr. Roman?
She said that she's waiting to be let in.
Okay, I don't have her. See, she's not showing that she is in the waiting room. I sent you the ID number. Can we make sure she has the correct one?
Yes, I will.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Pat, is Nick, I don't see his name. Is Nick in this or I can
No,
email him?
Nick is doing some other stuff.
Okay, so is Alexis available while we wait for Wayne to come? I want to make
Yes.
sure that that reckless driving gets dismissed today so that doesn't hold up Hector from getting released from jail.
I'll dismiss it today.
Okay, thank you, Alexis, very much. You need the case number? I've got it if you need it.
Yes, please.
It's 636-795, Hector David Lopez.
Got it. I'll do it
Thank
after.
you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ms. Benavides, everything's been sent to her.
Okay, let's hope that maybe there was a number off or something because I don't see her. Let's see. And I have not seen her. Maybe that's why she was kicking out. And I know she called the court, so I know she wants, she's trying. It's just, let's hope. I've got a Steven Washington. Maybe that's her.
Let me check.
I don't know who this is. Steven Washington, can you tell me who who you are? I don't have you on the docket. You're muted right now. Unmute. Steven Washington? Can
Yes,
you?
that's her.
That's her? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Do we get any attorneys back that I was missing? Which I guess is Fernando Trevino,
No,
Armando Roman, Jeannie
but we
Luker.
have Alexis Garcia.
I'm sorry?
We have Alexis Garcia, Your Honor, one of the defendants that we were missing. Her attorney is here.
Is it a plea or an MTR?
Plea.
So is Armando Roman here?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
We'll get you guys on the next run. All right, at this time, I've got cause 655-620, State of Texas versus Paul Solano with Mr. Michael Goins, Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court, Track 2, plea and probation agreement. I've got cause 645-339, State of Texas versus Priscilla M. Mata with Michael Goins. I've got cause 615523, State of Texas versus Arturo A. Martinez III with Mr. James Myrat. I've got cause 634471, State of Texas versus Stephanie Marie Torres with Mr. Nathan Slimane. And last but not least, I've got cause 644205, State of Texas versus Marbella Lopez Mercedes with Mr. Andreas Campion. Are all parties ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
This is Andres Campion. We are, Your Honor.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, we're going to do what I call mass pleas. So on all these cases, the first document I need each defendant and defense counsel to identify signatures on is entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference. In clause 655620, Mr. Solano, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Goins, as attorney for Mr. Solano, is this your signature on this document, sir?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Ms. Mata. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Goins, is this your signature as attorney for Ms. Mata on this document in 645339?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. In clause 615523, Mr. Martinez, is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Myrat, as attorney for Mr. Martinez, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Torres, in clause 634471, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Slimane, as attorney for Ms. Torres, is this also your signature on this document? Mr. Slimane, are you with us?
He's there.
I'm here, Judge. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble unmuting.
My question is this your signature on the waiver of video conference document?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. And clause 644205, Ms. Mercedes, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Campion, as attorney for Ms. Mercedes, is this your signature on this document?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the next document I'm looking at is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonitions that purport to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, Mr. Solano, in clause 655620, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Mata, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Martinez, is this your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ms. Torres, is this your signature, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Mercedes, is this your signature, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Each of you, by signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorneys, so that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, Mr. Solano?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Ms. Mata?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Martinez?
Yes, sir.
Is that correct, Ms. Torres?
Yes, sir.
And is that correct, Ms. Mercedes?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Goins, as attorney for Mr. Solano, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And in your opinion, is he mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Goins with regard to Ms. Mata and 645-339.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Myrat with regard to Mr. Martinez and 615523.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Slimane with regard to Ms. Torres and cause 634471.
Yes, Your Honor.
And same question to Mr. Campion with regard to Ms. Mercedes and cause 644205.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Solano, are you a United States citizen, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Ms. Mata.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Mr. Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Same question for Ms. Torres.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Same question for Ms. Mercedes.
No, sir.
Yes, all right. Mr. Goins, as attorney for Mr. Solano, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
They have, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Goins, as attorney for Ms. Mata.
They have, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Myrat, as attorney for Mr. Martinez.
Yes.
Same question for Mr. Slimane, as attorney for Ms. Torres.
Yes, Your Honor.
Same question for Mr. Campion, as attorney for Ms. Mercedes.
To the best of my knowledge, Your Honor, but just for clarification, Ms. Mercedes is not a U.S. citizen.
Oh, well, let's go back and take care of that, and I apologize, I missed that. So, Ms. Mercedes, in cause 644205, if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, plea of guilty or nolo contendere for the offense charged may result in your deportation, your exclusion from admission to this country, or the denial of naturalization under federal law. Ms. Mercedes, have you discussed with your attorney, Mr. Campion, and been made aware of the mentioned consequences, and are you still knowingly wanting to enter a plea to this offense?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Campion, as attorney for Ms. Mercedes, have you had the ability to discuss with her the possible problems she may encounter with regard to her immigration status if she enters a plea to this crime?
I have, Your Honor, and I've also instructed her to keep in contact with her immigration attorney.
Okay, and she does have an immigration attorney, and she has also consulted them, is that correct?
I believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. And she has indicated to you today that you want to go forward with a plea bargain on this case, is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Clause 655-620 is a Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 2 plea and probation agreement. Mr. Solano, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, have you plead, sir?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Judge, we have a motion on that one because it's going to be a track 2. And
Okay.
it's a DWI .15, so the state moves to waive the enhancement and proceed as a DWI first.
No objection, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, imagine not. Next motion to waive the greater 1.5 enhancement, no objection from the defense is granted. Let me try again. Mr. Solano, to the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense, how do you plead, sir?
Guilty, Your Honor.
Court accepts your plea of guilty. This is you on 1 year Bexar County Veterans Treatment Court Track 2 probation. And let's see what we came up with. Setting $1,000 fine plus 48 hours of community service. Plus DWI education, DWI victim impact panel, Smart Start mobile home interlock at 4 blows a day for 6 months, 1/2 term. Safety course, state, is there some sort of an aggravated feature of this case that needs a driver safety course? What's that about?
Judge, I can't remember off the top of my head besides the fact that there was an accident.
Okay, well, we'll leave it in as a driver safety course to figure that out later. Successful completion of the veteran for restitution, if any, to Kimberly Dunmore. Mr. Goins, do we think that the accident problems have been resolved, or there's still some liability out there somewhere?
I believe they've been resolved, Your Honor, but if they do come up, we can take care of it at a later time.
All good. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Solano, the court accepts your plea of guilty to driving while intoxicated, first offense to find, although I have enough evidence, find you guilty, I'm going to withhold the finding of guilt, place you on 1 year deferred adjudication probation. That's $1,000 fine, for court costs plus 48 hours of community service, probating all the community service based on your military service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Smart Start mobile home interlock for 6 months at 4 blows a day, driver safety course, successful completion of the VTC and restitution, if any, to Kimberly Dunmore.
Que no se apague después de
Anything
que me
further
mire
from
por-
the state of the defense on Mr. Solano?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
Hey, Mr. Solano, what'd you do in the military, sir?
I was a combat engineer in the Marine Corps, Your Honor.
Wow. And did you go to war?
I did, Your Honor.
Iraq,
I did.
both.
Afghanistan,
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it, actually. I should have stayed in.
Well, as I always say, when I left Afghanistan, we were winning. I don't know what they're doing over there now. All good. Thanks for your service, sir. Y'all are dismissed, and I think Ron's going to get up with you. Ron, are you on? Do you want to say anything on this case?
I'll give him a call, sir.
All right. One more is going to give you a call, Mr. Solano. If you have any questions, get back to the attorney. He'll get with me, and we'll figure it out. Thanks for your service, sir.
All right, thank you. Have a good day, Your Honor.
You bet. Okay, Miss Mata. See what we got for you. To the charge of theft, $100 to $750. How do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
Your paperwork says no contest. Mr. Goins, how do you want to enter a plea?
I would like to enter no contest. That's what we talked about, Your Honor.
No problem. The court accepts the plea of no contest to theft, $100 to $750. State, is there an agreement in this case?
6 months deferred adjudication, $200 fine plus court costs, 24 hours community service, and an ATSE course.
And Mr. Goins, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
The court accepts your plea of no contest, the offense of theft, $100 to $750. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold the finding of guilt. Place you on 6 months deferred adjudication probation, assessing a $200 fine for court cost, 24 hours community service, and the ATSE anti-theft course. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Mata?
Nothing further from the state, Judge.
Nothing from the defendant, Your Honor.
Good luck, Ms.
Judge.
Mata. Thank you, Mr. Goins. Yeah. somebody else.
Judge, if I may, I'd like to instruct anyone being granted probation at this time. You will be receiving notification from intake via either cell phone, text, or email in regards to your orientation, which will be done via Zoom. Just like I mentioned before, if you don't hear from intake, you need to contact them on Monday and let them know, or I'm sorry, on Tuesday morning, you need to contact them and let them know that you were granted probation today and you need to set up an orientation. Failure to do so could result in a warrant being issued for your arrest. If you have problems, you can always reach out to your attorney or call the court. The telephone number to intake is 210-335-7446. Again, 210-335-7446. That way we don't have to repeat it every time, Your Honor.
All good. Anybody got any questions for Ms. Groves?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Back on the record on 615-523, State of Texas versus Arturo A. Martinez III. Mr. Martinez, let's see, to the charge of driving while license invalid enhanced. How do you plead, sir?
So the first time I did it, I had some rules set. So I went to the DMV and I tried to get my license, but they said I couldn't get it. So this month, after this month of July, or next month of July, after that month, I could get my driver license.
Okay, that would be a good thing. Mr. Myrat, do you need to chat with Mr. Martinez? I'm just asking what his plea is to this incident.
Mr. Martinez pled no contest on his plea documents. Is that right, Mr. Martinez? No contest?
Yes, sir.
All right, court accepts the plea, no contest. Is there an agreement for Mr. Martinez state?
3 days in the Bexar County Jail, $200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent. We ask this be a JSAT, Judge.
Okay, and Mr. Myrat, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Myrat, just for the record, for future reference, what will Mr. Martinez need to do to get his license reinstated? So he'll be free legal.
What will he do? I'm not aware of what he needs to do to get his license.
To get his license back, right? What does he
Yes.
need to do to get his license back?
Go to the DMV and set up an appointment and pay the fee.
Do me a favor, before y'all part ways, just ask him what they told him at the DMV and see if you can assist him
Yeah, there's a two,
orally and what he needs to do to get his license back and become street legal so we don't have to do this again.
yeah. Generally, there's a two-step process. First, you got to go to the DMV and get your appointment, then show up at your appointment, then sit and see a clerk, pay the fee, take your picture, and you're good to go. He doesn't have any drug cases or alcohol cases that's preventing him from applying for a license.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, thanks for your help, sir. Good luck. Get your license. We won't have to see each other again. Mr. Martinez, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while license invalid and enhanced. I find you guilty. I assess 3 days in the Bear County Jail, a $200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Martinez?
No, sir.
Good luck, Mr. Martinez. Thank you, Mr. Myra.
Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful day.
You do. Okay. State, you have a motion on Ms. Torres' case, please.
Yes, Judge. The state moves to waive the enhancement and proceed as a DWI first.
No objections, Judge.
That will be granted. Therefore, Ms. Torres, for the charge of driving while intoxicated, first offense. How do you plead, ma'am?
No contest.
Is there an agreement for Ms. Torres?
16 months deferred adjudication, $500 fine plus court costs, 36 hours community service, $60 to DPS, DWI education, DIP, CAT SNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half the term.
And Mr. Slimane, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Torres, in clause 634471, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated first offense. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 16 months deferred adjudication of probation, assessing a $500 fine, 36 hours community service, $60 reimbursement fee for the Texas Department of Public Safety, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, outpatient drug, the Smart Start Mobile home interlock device at 4 blows a day for 6 months. I'm sorry, 8 months. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Torres?
Nothing further, Judge.
Anything further, Mr. Slimane?
No, Your Honor.
All right, y'all are good to go. Thanks for your help. You're out of here.
Thank you, Your Honor. Stephanie, call me if you have any questions.
Thank you.
And in clause 644205, see what we got. And say you have a motion on this case, please.
Correct, Judge. The state moves to waive the enhancement and proceed as a DWI first.
Objection from the defense, that will be granted. Therefore, Ms. Mercedes, for the charge of driving while intoxicated first offense, how do you plead, ma'am?
Marvella? The judge is speaking to you.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
No contest.
All right, thank you. Is there an agreement for Ms. Mercedes?
14 months deferred adjudication, $500 fine plus court cost, 48 hours community service, DWI education, DIP, CAT SNP, and Smart Start Mobile for half the term.
And Mr. Campion, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Mercedes, the court accepts your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated first offense. Although I have enough evidence to find you guilty, I'm going to withhold a finding of guilt. Place you on 14 months for adjudication probation, assessing a $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours of community service, DWI education course, DWI victim impact panel, Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program, outpatient drug, and Smart Start Mobile Home Interlock for 1/2 the term, which is 7 months at 4 blows a day. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Mercedes?
Nothing further, Judge.
Nothing from the defense, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Mercedes. Thank you, Andreas. Y'all are out of here.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much. You have a good day.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, did Ms. Bloomster make it back yet?
I do not see her. I do not see her, Your Honor.
Have you got a cell number on her to call her?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
Let me see if I do. Mr. Al-Masri, do you have a cell number on your attorney to call her?
No, sir. I've been trying to get into contact with her, but she hasn't been answering, sir. And
She
last
did
time
come
whenever-
in. She did come into the Zoom for a little bit, Your Honor, and obviously she left.
Judge, I think I have her phone number from this email list that I have, if you don't have it.
Can you chat it to me and I'll call her while the judge does whatever she's doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a break for a minute. I'll be right back.
Thank
Okay, I left her a message. We'll see if she shows up. Pat, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I left her a message as well, Your Honor.
Okay. Let's see who's here now. You heard from Fernando Trevino?
Not yet, Your Honor.
And we did that one. And Armando Roman is with us?
Yes, and his client are here.
And Ms. Garcia, we're ready to proceed on that one, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your
Yes.
I guess that's the one we have left. Okay, this is cause 642, 648, and 640-941. And 660603. State of Texas versus Alexis Garcia. I have two documents that are going to be involved in plea scenarios, cause 642, 648, and 640-941. Ms. Garcia, is this your signature on the defendant's consent to plea by video conference document?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Roman, as attorney for Ms. Garcia, is this your signature on this document also?
It is, Your Honor.
I also have the same document in clause 640-941. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Garcia?
Yes, sir.
And same question for Mr. Roman on 640-941.
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, in both clause 642, 648, and 640-941, The next document I'm looking at in each case is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonition that purport to have your signatures on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. Is this your signature on this document in 642, 648, and 640941?
Yes, sir.
By signing this document in both cases, are you telling me in both cases that you had enough time to either read these documents or have them read to you in their entirety? If you had any questions about what was on these documents, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Mr. Rahman. So that in signing these documents, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on each of these documents. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rahman, as attorney for Ms. Garcia, in both cases, have you had the ability to go over each of these cases with her, and in your opinion, is she mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Garcia, are you a United States citizen, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Rahman, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on both these cases?
The state has, Your Honor.
Okay. So on clause 640-941 to the charge of theft, $100 to $750. How do you plead, Ms. Garcia?
Guilty.
Paperwork says no contest. Mr. Rahman, how do you want the plea to be entered on 640-941?
Yes, Your Honor, that was my mistake. It's guilty.
Guilty? All right.
Yes.
Pat, we need to change the paperwork from no contest to guilty. No problem.
Yes. Yes.
Is there an agreement for Ms. Garcia and 640-941?
6/12, $300 fine plus court costs, 24 hours community service, an ATSE course, a no contact order with Walmart and HEB, TIC cause number 660603, and this will run concurrent with cause number 642648.
And defense, is that your understanding of the agreement?
It is, Your Honor. The only thing I would add to that is that the no contact orders were to be specific to the stores where the incidents took place.
As a general rule, I don't do that. I don't think HEB wants anybody stealing from them in any of their stores. Same thing with Walmart. So what I do basically is require the defendant not to have contact with any of the stores that they've had incidents with during the term of their probation. Now, depends on the state wants to do. I have no problem with early termination on thefts. If your client wants to pounce on it and get it all done in a couple of months, I have no problem with it.
We'll do that, Your Honor. That's fine.
All right. So with regard to clause 640-941, court accepts her plea of guilty.
Yes.
Guilty. That says 6 months in Bexar County jail, probated for 12 months, a $300 fine plus court costs, 24 hours community service, the ATSE anti-theft course, or do you have no contact with any Walmart or HEB store in San Antonio, Bexar County, Texas during the term of your probation. In this case, to run concurrent with 642-648 and taking into consideration clause 660603, which is granted and shall be dismissed. Anything further from the state of the defense on 640-941?
No, Your Honor.
All right, 642-648 to the charge of theft, $100 to $750. Ms. Garcia, how do you plead, ma'am?
Guilty.
Okay, same agreement state, basically, it looks like,
Correct, Judge, it's the
except
same.
for the TIC. Do you agree, Mr. Rahman, same agreement, basically?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. So Ms. Garcia, and clause 642-648, court accepts your plea of guilty. I find you guilty. I said 6 months in the Bexar County jail, probated for 1 year, a $300 fine plus court costs, 24 hours community service, ATSE anti-theft course, no contact with any Walmart or HEB store in San Antonio, Bexar County, Texas during the term of your probation. This case to run concurrent with 640-941. And that basically is my understanding of it. And once again, state, unless you have an objection, she's eligible for early termination as far as I'm concerned.
No objection, Judge.
Okay. So Ms. Garcia, how this works is, even though we have you down for 1 year probation, if you get everything done earlier than that, let your attorney know. He'll let me know. I confirm with probation you've done everything, and we'll cut you loose early. Fair enough?
Fair. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Rahman?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck, Ms. Garcia. Thank you, Mr. Rahman.
Thank
Your
you, Your
Honor,
Honor.
Ms. Bloomster is on Zoom now.
Okay, Jeannie, you with us?
Hello.
Welcome back. Let's get you knocked out of here.
Thank you.
Judge, before we move forward,
Yeah.
Neither Nick nor I have a plea noted for this case, so I didn't know if Ms. Blomster had spoken to felony. Well, I don't see any notes on the case.
I thought I talked
Okay.
to somebody about it and we had a deal. I mean, I don't know who sent me the email.
Me and Nick both checked our emails and we didn't have anything. So I don't know if you spoke, because I know this case was originally filed as a felony.
Right, right.
Jeannie, why don't you
I
and
didn't, I didn't
Alexis,
confer with them.
why don't you and Alexis go chat in the chat room real quick?
Okay,
I don't think it's going to be too strikingly difficult on a reckless driving case for y'all to come up with a plan.
okay. Thank you.
In the meantime, I'll get ready for our MTRs.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Let me put you in there. I'll put you in room 1. And Alexis, let me see where you are. I don't see you, Alexis.
I have 3 assigned to me right now.
You have 3? Get
Yeah.
out. All right, never mind. I'll get it. I know what I do. I know. I get you right now and go into 1. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's take 5. Be right back, and then we're going to do these MTRs as quickly and efficiently as we can. But y'all have all the time in the world you need to make any statements or give us any information you want to give us. Be back in 5.
Mr. Asmary, your attorney wants to talk to you, so I'm going to put you in room 1, okay, with her?
Yes, ma'am, that's fine.
And let's see if she can.
Jeannie, y'all work something out?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll work.
Okay, did you want to talk to him, Ms. Blue?
Yeah, can I talk to him real quick? Yeah.
He's already in 1. You can go in 1 now.
Okay. I
Real
think.
quick.
You can't think of anything more fun than hanging out with County Court 6 on Zoom for about 4 hours on a Thursday afternoon. Isn't that right, Mr. Ortiz?
Are we having fun yet?
Yeah, exactly.
I cannot wait for my vacation.
In my mind, I'm packed and on the road.
Yes. We are counting down the days, the hours, the minutes, and seconds.
13 days, 20 hours, 50 minutes, 14 seconds. Judge, your audio is much better today. Thank you.
Because I have my $25 speaker Susan made me, or microphone Susan made me buy.
Yes, it works miracles.
Hey, Suzanne, I sent you a chat.
I'm sure Mike appreciates it.
For sure.
A lot better.
Oh, yes.
The wife has told me that if they pass the law about guns, that she wants a 50mm Gatling gun. I understand the judge might have one for sale. I'm only afraid that my wife will use it on me.
Sold my last one. Sorry, it was a 45 cal, wasn't a 50. More might have a 50 for you though.
Judge, this is Joel. If they pass that weapons carry law, does that mean all the unlawful carrying cases are thrown out?
I don't think it grandfathers anybody. Nice try though. I like the way you think.
Oh, okay. I said, of course, we'll raise that argument.
Okay, Your Honor, they're back.
Ms. Blumser, are we good?
Yes, we're back, Judge. We have a deal for credit for time served, and he says he signed everything, but I'm not sure. So we need to check, make sure everything's signed.
The only document, I have 2 documents. One is the defendant's consent to plead by video conference, and the one I have looks to be signed by both of y'all. And then the other one is the waiver of constitutional rights of court's admonitions, and that looks to be signed by him and you. So we're good, as far as I can tell.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. All right.
Back on the record on 641-885 to the Texas versus Hassoum Al-Masri. Mr. Al-Masri, I'm looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Plea by Video Conference, which is alleged to have your signature and your attorney, Ms. Bloomster's signature on it. Is this your signature on this document, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Ms. Bloomster, as attorney for Mr. Al-Masri, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Al-Masri, the next document I have is entitled Defendant's Waiver of Constitutional Rights and Court's Admonition that purports to have your signature on the back, effectively waiving certain constitutional rights you must waive in order to enter a plea before this court. In fact, sir, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
By signing this document, are you telling me that you've had enough time to either read this document or have it read to you in its entirety? If you had any questions about what was on this document, those questions were answered to your satisfaction by your attorney, Ms. Bloomster. So that in signing this document, you're telling me that you agree with and understand everything on this document. Is that correct, sir?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bloomster, as attorney for Mr. Al-Masri, have you had enough time to go over this case with him? And then your opinion, is he mentally competent?
He is.
Mr. Al-Masri, are you a United States citizen, sir?
No, sir. Permanent resident.
Okay. Mr. Al-Masri, if you are not a citizen of the United States of America, A plea of guilty or nolo contendere for the offense charged may result in your deportation, your exclusion from admission to this country, or the denial of naturalization under federal law. Mr. Al-Masri, have you discussed with your attorney and been made aware of the mentioned consequences? And are you now knowingly entering a plea to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bloomster, as attorney for Mr. Al-Masri, have you had the ability to talk to him about the possible problems he may encounter with regard to his immigration status if he enters a plea to this crime?
Yes, Judge.
And after your discussion with him, did he indicate to you he still wanted to go forward with a plea bargain with the state?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Al-Masri, to the charge of reckless driving, how do you plead, sir?
No contest, sir.
And Jeannie, I forgot to ask you, has the state fully complied with discovery for you on this case?
Yes, Judge.
Thanks. State, is there an agreement for Mr. Al-Masri?
3 days in the Bear County Jail, $200 fine plus court costs, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, and we ask it to be a JSAT, Judge.
And Ms. Bloomster, is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Al-Masri, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the offense of reckless driving. I find you guilty. That says 3 days in the Bear County Jail, a $200 fine plus court cost, credit for time served, time and money to run concurrent, judgment satisfied. Anything further from the state or the defense on Mr. Al-Masri?
No, Your Honor.
Good luck, Mr. Al-Masri. Thank you, Ms. Bloomster.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. First case I've got, Mr. Richardson, is State of Texas versus John Flores, cause 653-053 and 645-740. I don't see, I have a defendant's consent to motion to revoke hearing by video conference on 653-053. I do not have one on 645-740. Did y'all do two, Mr. Richardson, or was it your intention?
There was supposed to be two, Your Honor. I sent two.
All right.
Yeah, he told me he sent two because I told
And Your
him.
Honor, I believe I sent you two. I'll double check, but I think I did.
We'll cut to the bottom. If there are two, and I just don't have one in front of me, that's okay. If there's just one, I assume, Mr. Richardson, it's okay with you that we use one waiver for both cases because it's exactly the same waiver. Would that be okay with you?
Yes. Also, John said he sent him and filled him off. I told him there was 4 different papers. He said, yes, I did send 4 papers.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Judge, may I say something first?
Hang on just a second. Let me get my paperwork out of the way here first. I'm going to let you say anything you want for as long as you want. State, any objection to using one defendant's consent to motion to revoke hearing by video conference on both 653-053 and 645-740? If there are actually 2 documents, we'll use both of them administratively. If not, we're just going to put one more number to the one I've got, which would be adding 645-740 to and 653-053. Okay with the state?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And okay with the defense?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Richardson. What else you got?
Obviously, when he got put on probation, he was a certain level of marijuana. He said he did not smoke marijuana at all, period. So obviously, he's saying that the charge that he smoked marijuana was true, but obviously, when he first got on probation, he was positive for something.
Okay. Would you mind holding that discussion at the appropriate time? Let's let him enter. Let me identify the parties, then we'll let him enter a plea. And then you can certainly go back and cover all that information for us because we'll need to know that.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Let's start with cause 645-740.
Yes.
And representing the state once again is Miss Alexis O'Connor, and representing the Bear County CSCD is Miss Susan Gross, who I remind is still under oath. Mr. Richardson, I understand both of these MTRs are going to be uncontested. Is that accurate?
Well, if you want to go uncontested with an explanation, that might be possible, but he said he did complete the DWI education and the impact panel. I sent the info to Alexis. I also sent it directly to your inbox.
Okay, here's what it boils down to. He can plead true or not true with an explanation. If he wants to plead not true, he's coming to me as the trier of fact to determine whether it's true or not. Otherwise, he can have a full-blown contested MTR, which kind of brings this Gross as the only witness you're going to get anyway, again, probably. How do y'all want to proceed? I mean, I normally, as you're well aware, because you've been doing this for 20 years with us, He can plead true with an explanation, and if he's already done something, we're all gonna give him credit for doing it. So that's not.
Okay, I guess true with an explanation. He would like to be released from jail today.
All right, well, let's go back on clause 645-740 and clause 653-053. Both are uncontested, and the defendant is gonna plead true with an explanation because there may be some alleged that aren't exactly true that he's gonna explain. Is that correct? Or he's done something we don't know he's done. Would that be accurate?
I think so, yes.
So here we go. In clause 645-740, he's pleading true with an explanation. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties what the status of Mr. Flores' probation is on 645-740?
Yes, Your Honor. To date, the defendant has been reporting as directed. The last time we saw him was on June the 9th of 2021. This case only had $22 assessed in fees, and he has paid that in full. We have no record of any of his 36 hours of community service having been completed.
Hey, Mr. Flores, can you turn your microphone off until we're actually talking to you, sir?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
No problem, not your fault. All right, go ahead.
Mike, do you need me to repeat that?
Sure.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
yes, he has been reporting as directed. We last saw him on June 9th of 2021. He has paid $22 in full on this case. We have no record of any of his 36 hours of community service having been completed. He's currently testing on Smart Start Mobile at 4 times per day. To date, he has had 3 skip tests. He is in lockout as a result of being incarcerated at the time that it was time for him to return to calibrate his device. So if he is continued, he will need to immediately report back to Smart Start to get into compliance. He has had 1 positive drug test for marijuana, which did occur prior to the 30 days after being granted probation. He has completed DWI education, victim impact panel, and has not completed the CAT-SNP program. This is his first violation report, first motion to revoke. As his criminal history, he has prior arrests for criminal trespass of a habitation or shelter, criminal mischief 50 to 500, resisting arrest, search, transportation, possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 1 to 4 grams, burglary of a habitation with force, felony, aggravated robbery, felony, alteration of a license plate, theft 100 to 750, and then the 2 DWIs, which he is currently on probation for. His probation officer is making the recommendation that he be placed on weekly drug testing and that he shows substantial compliance within 30 days.
Okay, let me get on the table the fact that my records show he has 14 days in jail credit for time served. Does that everybody agree on that, or is there more that I'm unaware of?
We agree with that, Judge. We know that he the CAT-SNP program. He said he was on the way to completing that, but he had three CAT-SNPs left, and then he would finish that up. So,
hey, Mr. Richardson, let me stop you there and let me tell you what I'm looking at. The marijuana stuff, the positive for marijuana occurred within 30 days of going on probation. I'm not going to consider that we tell all probationers they get a 30-day grace period. That's not a problem. He's already done DWI education. That's not a problem. He's already done victim impact panel. That's not a problem. The problems are, and I don't know if he's active in the CAT-SNP course or not yet, or registered for that yet that I'm aware of. And then we've got problems with the Smart Start Mobile. Those are the 2 issues I'm interested in, Mr. Richardson. Go ahead.
He said he finished 5 out of 8 CAT-SNPs. And then I thought he said he hadn't blown positive for anything. That's what he told me. I don't, he wants to say something about that. But he said he's well on the way to finishing CAT-SNPs. Of course, he'll immediately sign up to finish the last 3 if they'll let him finish 3 without starting over again.
Okay. I don't have any evidence of any positive, hydrox for alcohol. None. That's not an issue either.
If you want me to go further, he wants to raise his hand and say something. If you want to let him to say something.
Go ahead. If you'd like to tell us something, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. No, I was on the 3 skipped blows. They were like within a week when I first got on probation. I wasn't used to the schedule, but if you see now, I got no skipped blows. That was all in the beginning, and I got no positive for alcohol, sir.
Okay, take your mask off, John. We can't hear what you're saying.
Sorry about that. Yeah, all the other skipped blows were in the very beginning, like the first week, and I did blow as soon as I saw the time, but none of them are for alcohol, nothing positive.
Hey, sir, are you registered for that outpatient drug course that we call CATSNP?
Yes, sir, on Piper's Lane, Piper
Have you
Street.
gone to any classes yet?
Yes, sir, and I already paid it off in full. I just need to do the other sessions, 2
How
hours
many
a day.
classes have you gone to or used on Zoom? How many?
I've done 5. I've done 5 classes.
All right.
I believe he said he was a friend of yours.
Yeah, he is a good friend of mine. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
True. Okay, so here's what I've got, and if anybody wants to throw in to tell me they've got a variation on that theme. Basically, we've been having a problem with Smart Start Mobile, but a lot of it was that Mr. Flores was in jail and we weren't around to stay out of lockout. Susan, would you agree that that was the problem on that?
Yes, Your Honor. Prior to his going into jail, he only had 3 skip tests, no bracs.
Okay, and otherwise, we seem to be doing okay. So, I know what the defense recommendation is. State, what's your recommendation?
Continue on probation, Judge.
Okay. And we're on 645-740. So, Mr. Flores, the court accepts your plea of true with an explanation to the motion to revoke community supervision on clause 645-740. I deny the state's motion to revoke your probation, or you can continue on probation with all prior requirements. I'm gonna give you a sanction of 14 days in jail, credit for time served, judgment satisfied. So you've already done that. You're gonna get out. As soon as you get out, you need to immediately get back involved with the outpatient drug program, that CATSNP program with Dean DeSoto. And you need to immediately get your Smart Start Mobile hooked back up at 4 blows a day.
Yes, sir.
And other than that, you just need to continue doing what you're doing. I don't think any other problems. Susan, what else? What did I miss? What else do we need to have Mr. Flores do?
That looks good, Your Honor. As long as he has stopped smoking weed and future drug tests don't come out dirty, we'll be okay.
All right, Mr. Flores, if I give you a urinalysis test as soon as you get out of jail, you're going to be positive for marijuana or not?
No, I'm clean, sir. I tried getting one as a, all right.
Great answer, sir. Great answer. All right. So that takes care of clause 645-740. Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Flores and 645-740?
Well, he has a job, a place to live, girlfriend, kid, one on the way. Seems to be responsible. We don't need anything else to happen to DWIs. I'm sure he realizes the third one may be a felony and 2 to 10 years on that one. So,
all right. Well, let's do the second one real quick because I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the second one we did on the first one. Okay. So, Mr. Flores, it was 653-053 on the date. Motion to revoke community supervision. How do you plead, sir?
True with an explanation, I think.
Fair enough. Any further discussion from the defense?
No, he's just been a good client, Judge. I've had several conversations with him, and I think he's pretty decent. I'm not happy about his past record, but I hope he doesn't do anything else in the future.
Well, we're going to go from today forward, all right? So anything you did in the past, you know, whether it's good, bad, or whatever, we'll not worry about that unless it comes back to haunt us. It's today forward. So, state anything further?
Nothing further, Judge.
Probation, anything further?
Judge, the only thing different on this case are going to be the fees that were assessed. He has paid $122 on this case, and he has a balance of $1,098 and is delinquent $210. But other than that, everything else is the same as the prior case.
Are these cases running concurrent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Flores, it cost 653-053. The court accepts your plea of true with an explanation to the motion to revoke community supervision. I deny the state's motion to revoke your probation or to continue on probation with all prior requirements. Ordering you to immediately get back on the Smart Start mobile device or get it turned back on as soon as you get out of jail. And immediately continue with your Community Alliance for Traffic Safety New Intervention Program outpatient drug. I don't think you're too far behind on your monies. You can catch up on your monies if you need to. But otherwise, just keep doing what you're doing. No marijuana, no alcohol, and we're good. Fair enough, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank you.
anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Flores at 653-053?
Do we have a telephone number for him to call when he gets out of jail? I don't know who we should call or what number.
He's not going to call anyone. His probation officer is going to be sending him amended conditions. You know where to go to get your Smart Start recalibrated.
Yes, ma'am.
You know where CATSNP is. Get in touch with them. If you do not have amended conditions from your probation officer by close of business tomorrow, you need to call your officer on Monday and confer with them about the amended conditions. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, so
Good luck, Mr. Flores. Thank you, Mr. Richardson.
Have a good day, Your Honor. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay, next case, file 640084, State of Texas versus Sofia Calderon with Mr. Anufo Ortiz. Mr. Ortiz, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
All right. First document I need you all to identify your signatures on for me is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. And Ms. Calderon, is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Unmute yourself, Sophia.
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. And Mr. Ortiz, as attorney for Ms. Calderon, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Calderon, the next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has the right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And Mr. Ortiz, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Once again, ADA, Alexis O'Connor, and CSCD, Ms. Susan Gross, so our mind is still under oath. Mr. Ortiz, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. We're pleading true.
All right. So on the first amended motion to revoke community supervision for Sofia Angela Calderon, about 640084, how does Ms. Calderon plead?
True.
Okay, Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Ms. Calderon's probation, please?
yes, Your Honor, this is her first violation report, first motion to revoke. Her reporting has been good. We last saw her on June 9th of 2021. She has paid $630 towards her fees and has a balance of $618. She's current at this time. She's completed 20 of her 40 hours of community service, as well as her DWI education, victim impact panel, and we have no proof of enrollment or completion of the CATSNP program. She has had 6 positive alcohol tests on the Smart Start mobile. She's had 3 negative drug tests. She's currently testing at 4 times per day. She's had 12 skips and 5 high bracs ranging from 0.017 to 0.133. In addition to those violations, Your Honor, there have been 8 occasions in which the defendant has been using someone else to test into the Smart Start mobile device. Her criminal history includes 1 prior driving while intoxicated, and her officer is recommending that she be placed on a SCRAM device and that she also be ordered into the CATS intensive outpatient program at CATS.
Okay, defense.
Your Honor, my client is not a druggie. I've had come to Jesus talk with her. She knows now that she's a drunk, and she knows that she's risking prison. And she knows that the fact that she's got 2 teenage girls is not going to save her. She knows that she's skating on very thin ice, very thin ice. She's a hard worker. Besides the DUI, she had no previous criminal history. She's already middle-aged. I would beg the court to give this young lady an opportunity to prove me right when she promises not to have a single violation ever again, given that chance. If the court would give her that chance, I understand. I think she understands how serious this is, how there will be no break. She's going to go to jail. She's going to end up in a bad way if she ever does this, anything like this again. I just became her attorney. I would ask the court to give her that opportunity. She's not stupid. She's been dumb. And she now knows with very plain talk that she's a drunk. She can't deny it. She has to go through with all that therapy that she's been doing. She's completed a bunch of stuff, the DUI, the VIP. She's already halfway through the CATS. She's community service and is paid. If the court would give her that chance, I will represent her, but I will not come begging this court if the court gives her that chance to stay under the current program. I think that what she was lacking was a lawyer who would tell her the truth about what's going to happen. And I think I've fulfilled that role. Please, Your Honor, give this woman a chance to do the right thing.
Hey, Mr. Ortiz, do I have your permission to talk to your client?
Please, please.
Hey, Ms. Calderon.
Yes, Your Honor.
You got to stop drinking, and my position is I don't think you can. So that being said, are you working? Do you have children? What's your home status?
I'm working at Zales and I have two daughters, one 18 and one 16.
Okay.
And she's a real estate agent.
Okay. The only way I'm going to consider keeping you on probation is if you stay on the scram bracelet for the next 8 months, which is the rest of the time on your probation. My understanding is it costs plus or minus $350 a month. But it's a lot more fun than jail. That's my only other option I have for you. I can put her in inpatient rehab at SATF for 180 days, and then she's still on probation. I can put her in jail for 6 months, or she can pay for the scram bracelet. Then I know that if she violates again, that both Mr. Ortiz and I are going to immediately know about it. And there'll be no more chances after this one. Are you willing to pay for the scram bracelet?
My only concern about that is that I wear professional attire at work and my boss will not have me.
A little late for that. She'll take it.
Right. Here's the way it works, Ms. Calderon. You're kind of down to jail, 6 months. I don't think you want to do that. Rehab, which is inpatient, where you can't go home, you can't do anything. You got to sit there for 6 months. That will help you stop drinking, however. Or volunteer for the scram bracelet. Right now, you're not telling me you're volunteering. Right now, you're whining about it and saying it's gonna not be fashionable. I guess is what I'm getting at.
We talked about
No,
this,
it's not.
Sophia. Just say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Could be time for slacks at work. Is kind of what it boils down. So that being said, are you willing to pay for the scram bracelet for the next 8 months? That's what it's going to take.
And the scram bracelet and also the other device too.
No, you'll only be on the scram bracelet. We'll take the other device off. That'll save you the $100 a month or whatever that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You're willing to do that?
Yes, sir. I'm willing to do that.
Based on her representation, she's willing to stay on the scram bracelet for the duration of probation, which is 8 more months. What is your recommendation, please?
Judge, I would prefer SATF or jail, but I guess scram is one more opportunity.
Okay, Susan, based on the defendant's admission that she'd be willing to use scram, what is the department's recommendation at this time?
Judge, in lieu of the fact that the defendant has been less than interested in complying, I think the probation department would rather change their recommendation to revocation or SATF, her choice.
I agree with probation, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Ortiz, I'm getting torn here. The state and the probation office want to put Ms. Calderon in jail for 6 months.
One violation, and I would agree with them.
Well,
one violation.
The big problem that angers the probation department and the state is that Ms. Calderon tried to cheat and get somebody else to blow into her machine. I think that's the big problem here. Yes, Sue?
And on top of that, Judge, her readings have been as high as 0.133. She's had 5 separate instances of alcohol consumption, and then she's having other people blow into the device. That tells me that she's drinking on those days as well, and she doesn't want to have a positive, so she gets somebody else to blow.
One
May I-
violation.
may I
I will be
speak
your
on that?
lawyer. I will not argue. Please, please.
May I speak on that, please?
No, be quiet.
All right, Ms. Calderon, the court accepts your plea of true in cause 6400084 on the first amended motion to revoke community supervision. I deny the state's motion to revoke your community supervision for one reason only. I've known your attorney for a long time, and he never goes to bat for somebody like he's going to bat for you. He's been very fair with everybody. He said you've got problems and you're going to fix them. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm going to give you a promise that if there are any more issues, any more problems, your fault, my fault, nobody's fault, ask Mr. Ortiz what's going to happen to you, because I assure you he knows. So you're going to continue on probation with all prior requirements. I'm going to give you 30 days in the Bexar County Jail as a sanction, not 6 months that you really deserve, but I'm going to hold it in abeyance for right now, because I don't think you can do this. I'd love to be wrong, but I don't think you can do it. I think you're shining this on. So we're going to give you a shot and see how long it lasts. You're going to be on the scram bracelet within 5 days of today. So you're going to have to get on the phone and get those appointments made. If there's any problem with that, Mr. Ortiz, you're going to give me a call. I'll fix it. As soon as she's active on scram bracelet, she can take off. You can discontinue the Smart Start mobile device. She needs to immediately register, as in like tomorrow, with the Community Alliance for Traffic Safety Intensive Outpatient Program. And just let somebody, well, you won't be blowing in the machine anymore, so I guess we won't have that problem. But you've got 2 DWIs. The next one's going to be a felony, and that's going to be a game changer for you. So let's don't have another one, I guess, is the way to go about that. Susan, what did I miss?
I think that's about it, Your Honor.
Alexis, what did I miss?
You got it all, Judge.
All right. Ms. Calderon, you got any questions for us? This is your last chance.
No, Your Honor, I appreciate you talking with me and making that exception for me. I am enrolled in the CAT SNP. I'm in 6 more classes.
Thank you, Ms.
to go.
Calderon.
Thank you.
Mr. Ortiz, I want you to have a very short conversation with her. I can send you to the chat room. You can do it now, or you can do it at your leisure. But I want you understand what I mean. I'm not sure she does.
Oh, she's my cousin. I will be talking to her.
Okay, well, it means you don't get paid. So you already, you're the one taking the hit.
Yeah, I got it, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck, Ms. Calderon. Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Stay
Thank
through
you.
the time. It'll never happen again.
Thank
All
you.
right, Ms. Calderon, don't go anywhere just yet.
Yes.
Your officer is going to be sending you information on where to go and sign up for that scram bracelet. If
Okay.
you don't have it by close of business tomorrow, you need to call your officer first thing on Monday, okay?
Okay. I'll
Once-
stay on.
Once you get strapped, then you call your officer, let her know that you've got the device on your ankle, and then she'll send me paperwork so that you can, so the judge can sign it, and then you can go turn in your Smart Start mobile device. You already
Okay.
have the CATS information. It's the same place, but you need to be registered for the IOP class. Judge, is it okay if she waits and starts IOP after CATSNP?
I think that's best, don't you?
Yes, but you got to be registered for it within a week. Okay, so you got to get registered for it, but you're not going to tell them you want to start after CATSNP.
After the CAT SNP. Okay.
All
And
right,
it's iOS,
IOP, intensive outpatient.
IOP. Okay.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Okay, good luck to you.
All right. Good luck, y'all.
Thank
You.
All right. Next case, 624-614, State of Texas versus Jennifer Ann Cole, Milton Butler. Mr. Butler, you ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Cole and Mr. Butler, I'm looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. that alleges to have both your signatures on it. Ms. Cole, is this your signature on this document, ma'am? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And Mr. Butler, as attorney for Ms. Cole, is this your signature on this document also?
Yes, Your Honor.
The next document I have, Ms. Cole, is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal, unquote. Is this your signature on this document, ma'am?
Sure.
And Mr. Butler, as attorney for Ms. Cole, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, it is.
Okay. This is a first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Representing the state is Assistant Criminal District Attorney Alexis O'Connor. Representing the Bexar County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who I remind is still under oath. My understanding, Mr. Butler, is this is going to be an uncontested motion to revoke probation. Is that accurate?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Cole, in cause 624614 on the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how do you plead, ma'am?
Okay.
Would that be true with an explanation, Mr. Butler?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court accepts the plea of true with an explanation. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Ms. Cole's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Cole has reported as directed. We last saw her May 7th of 2021. Her case is paid in full. She has completed 60 of her 60 hours of community service. She completed an aggressive driving course. She had 5 negative drug tests, and she failed to submit to 4 drug tests. Her criminal history include an arrest for possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, theft 50 to 500, failed to ID by giving a false name to a police officer, possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram, and this offense in which she's on probation for. This is her second motion to revoke. This case does expire next week, and the officer is asking that her probation be terminated unsatisfactory upon expiration.
Okay, defense, what do you got?
Well, Your Honor, the reason she did not submit to the drug tests were she had pneumonia and then bronchitis, and she did provide medical documentation to probation. She has never tested positive on any of these tests. I just think that terminating her unsatisfactorily, I think she should be terminated satisfactorily instead of unsatisfactorily.
Okay, Ms. Gross, did you receive any medical documentation that would be the same time frame as these 4 failures to submit UAs?
Judge, I am double checking that right now. Give me about 30 seconds.
Mr. Butler, do I have your permission to chat with your client on this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Hey, Ms. Cole.
Hi there.
What were your medical circumstances that did not allow you to report for 4 urinalysis tests in person?
Unfortunately, it's kind of embarrassing, but I did go report on one of them, but they threw the UA away after it was already in the nurse's hand with the lid. She told me I could finish, and I had a slight bowel movement because of my medication, and she threw it away and she considered it a bad test, and she already had it in her hand. The lady at the,
I'm sorry, what medication were you on? Do you recall?
I was on several antibiotics and steroids.
And your attorney told us that you did send copies of your prescriptions, I guess, to your probation officer, or what medical documents did you send to the probation department?
I sent them everything the hospital gave me.
And who was your probation officer at that time? Do you recall?
Yes, Garcia.
Judge,
Yvonne.
Coach, go ahead.
I am reviewing those documents. There's several pages that were scanned in individually, so I've had to open them individually. It looks like she was in the hospital for 1 day. She was given a return to work for the following day upon her release. So in regards to her drug testing and her failing to do so, that's not going to fly because she was supposed to be testing weekly. So what happened to all those other days that she was supposed to go when there's no reason for her not to go because she was not in the hospital?
And her probation ends what, next week, did you say?
Yes, case expires on June 16th of 2021.
Dave, are you aware of what was aggravated about this particular case that we did an aggressive driving course? Do we have accident? I guess we had an accident. That's the big problem.
Yes.
Anything further from the state?
Along with probation, Judge.
Ms. Cole and cause 624-614. The court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I deny the state's first amended motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, and giving you a sanction of 5 days in the Bexar County Jail, credit for time served, judgment satisfied. And continue on regular probation, just terminate her satisfactorily if she gets that far. If there are any other problems, file an NPR immediately. Any questions on this Cole?
Judge, is it revoke or is it?
No, it continued on probation. I denied
Okay.
it. She stays on deferred. She has what, 5 more days or 6 more days or something?
Yes.
All right. So if she makes it 6 more days without a problem, we're good. Now, if you send her for a UA and she doesn't show up, we'll talk again. Right now, Mr. Butler's convinced me that he's not, her aggravating circumstances are not so bad that she needs to go to jail this time. Fair enough, Mr. Butler?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further from the state of the defense on Ms. Cole?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank your lawyer, Ms. Cole. Have a nice day.
You too. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Judge, just to clarify, term unsat?
No. Just put her back on probation. She's still on probation. And what she does the next 5 or 6 days will determine whether or not she's going to be normally just, term sat. But I'm not doing anything to her other than giving her a sanction. She's already spent 2 days in jail, so I'm giving her 5 credit for time served. And that's her sanction. But she's already done that. But y'all want to send her for a UA? I'm sure she'd be happy to go and show up on time for Bell. I don't think there's going to be any problem. Isn't that right, Ms. Cole?
Yes.
There you go. All right. Good luck, Ms. Cole. Thank you, Mr. Butler. Y'all are excused.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Cole, your officer will be sending you some documentation, probably tomorrow or Monday. If you don't hear from them, then you need to contact them to sign those documents, okay?
Yes.
All right, good luck to you.
Okay. Next case I got about 648-298, State of Texas versus Christian Benegas Orendane with Mr. Michael Zamora. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Zamora?
Have been.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's been a long day. Okay, this is a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. The first document I have for Mr. Benegas Orendane and Mr. Zamora is to identify the signatures on is entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Benegas Orendane?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And Mr. Zamora, as attorney for Mr. Benegas Orendane, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt following a deferred adjudication, and the defendant has a limited right of appeal. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Benegas Orendane?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Zamora, as attorney for Mr. Benegas Orendane, is this also your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Zamora, my understanding is this is an uncontested motion to adjudicate. Is that correct?
It is, yes, it is an uncontested motion to adjudicate, correct.
Representing the state, once again, is Assistant Criminal District Attorney Alexis O'Connor. Representing the Bexar County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who's been previously sworn. On the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, Mr. Benegas Orendane, how do you plead, sir?
I plead true.
Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Benegas Orandain's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant has performed very poorly on probation in that he has never reported. He showed up for intake and signed his conditions back in March, and we've never seen him. He's not paid anything. He has a balance of $775, delinquent $551. We have no record of any of his 48 hours community service having been done. We have no record that he has completed a firearm safety class, or that he obtained the GPS device as ordered as a condition of probation within 5 days. This is his first MTR. He has no criminal history. The case does expire in September 17th of 2021. And the officer is recommending that he be extended for 6 months and that he obtain that GPS within 5 days.
May I respond, Your Honor?
You bet. Go ahead,
He
Mr. Moore.
currently has his GPS on. He was going, there's no excuse for, I was told that he was going to plead to the not reporting in April, but you know, I don't think anything else there's false that you just read off. He was going through severe financial hardship, was almost out on the streets. He did have a job prior to being taken into custody for the violations. And it's my understanding he has a job if he is not incarcerated for this offense. He said he made attempts to do the community service. However, there were very few places that were actually taking people. That's what was conveyed to me. As mentioned, I believe he has one arrest for a POM, but that was never pursued. It was dismissed. So he doesn't have a criminal history. I've explained to him the position he's in right now, and he'd kind of like to obviously avoid a criminal history. And after a long talk with him, I'm sure that if given the opportunity, he can comply well before September with all of this court's directives.
State recommendation. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the GPS that he has on now is for the condition of bond. He was ordered to have a GPS as a condition of probation. So right now he's got it for the condition of bond. Go ahead, state
recommendation, please.
Judge, along with probation, but I was going to also add that he needs to register for that firearm safety course.
Mr. Zamora, do I have your permission to talk to your client?
You most certainly do.
Hey, Mr. Benegas Orandain, your situation doesn't make any sense. Basically, it appears you committed pretty much the most serious offense we have in this court, this handgun thing. So that being said, why did you not report? I mean, money can't be money. It's got to be more than that. What are you worried about?
No, it's not that I didn't report, boss. Is at my current PO, I would get in contact with her, but I never got the actual date to report in person. And when I did try to report to her, my phone calls would go unanswered.
March 18, 21, that was kind of right when all this pandemic stuff was starting. Everybody agree?
Yes.
So Susan, were people reporting
I believe it was
by
this year, correct?
Judge,
Yeah.
that was this year, not
This
last year.
2021, this year?
Right. The pandemic started a year ago.
Oh, 20, okay. So the pandemic was ongoing.
Yes.
Correct.
All right. So he would have been reporting by Zoom or by computer or something. How would he have been reporting, Susan? Not in person, I guess.
He would have been reporting by Zoom, and I am looking up all the appointments that he was sent. Give me about 2 seconds. Let's see. On March 22nd, he was given an appointment for Wednesday, April 14th, 2021. On March 22nd, he was rescheduled to March 23rd at 1 p.m. Then he was given an appointment for April 22nd at 2021. Then he was given another appointment for May 25th at 10:30. He never showed up for any of them, Judge.
Hey, Mr. Benegas Orandain, if I give you a urinalysis test tomorrow, are you going to be positive for anything colorful?
No, sir.
No marijuana, no nothing?
No, sir.
Okay.
And if I may, Your Honor, on May 25th, I did show up at 10:30 because that's at that meeting is when I was actually incarcerated.
Okay. Is there more, anything further? I have a plan.
No, Your Honor, I have nothing further.
All right, Mr. Benegas, Orndane, and cause 648-298. The court accepts your plea of true with an explanation on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. I grant the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt. I find you guilty of the offense of unlawfully carrying a handgun. I sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, probated for 1 year, a $500 fine plus court costs, 48 hours community service. Firearm safety course. Weekly UAs. I want to give you a sanction of 30 days in the Bexar County Jail to remind you of how important it is to report. You're to report to the Bexar County Jail at 9:00 a.m. on Monday, the 14th of June. To do your 30 days in Bexar County Jail. At which point, when you come out, you'll still be on probation.
Yes, sir.
Is there a weapon in this case somewhere? I mean, is it still in evidence, Mike? What do you think?
I'm not aware. It was a motion to revoke, and I just got appointed, I believe, about a week ago.
Check on that. I'm going to award you the weapon if it's still there. I don't know if it's still there.
The weapon was awarded to, I think, Ray Lopez on my last time.
All right.
Yes.
Takes care of the weapon. Okay, Susan, what did I forget? What else we need to do?
You're muted.
Susan, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry. That should cover it. Mr. Venegas, you will be receiving an email from intake, not from your probation officer, from intake. You're starting all over. You have to go through orientation again and everything, okay?
Yes, and Mike, Mr. Zura, and Mr. Venegas, I will be sending the paperwork. It will be the application, probation application, and a data sheet. You have to fill it out and be sure that it's correct. I'm sending it today, so be sure and fill that out, Mr. Venegas, before you appear on Monday for your jail sentence.
And actually, Judge, due to the fact of orientation and the such, can we push his report to jail to next Friday? That will give them time to get the paperwork done and for him to do his orientation and sign his conditions.
Nope, they can orient him in jail.
Okay.
Anything further from the state of the defense on Mr. Venegas Orndane?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Zamora, at some future point, I want you to have a very brief conversation with the defendant and tell him how close he came to going to jail for a year and how you see me do it to 100 other people under the same circumstance. Fair enough?
Okay, I will do that.
Good luck, Mr. Venegas Orndane. Thank you, Mr. Zamora. Y'all are dismissed.
Just give me a call, Mr. Venegas.
Mike, if you get him to fill out that paperwork and get it back to Pat today or at the very earliest, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, that would be marvelous because we're going to be.
Actually, it's going to go to the clerks. I'll send it to Mike, Mr. Venegas, and then the clerk, so that it goes immediately to them. So if you can fill it out tonight, perfect.
I'll get my end done as soon as I receive it.
I know you will, Mike. It was good seeing you, Mike. Good seeing you.
Have
Y'all
Mr.
take care.
Venegas Orndane report to the jail with his GPS on, and we'll get him to take it off over there.
Okay.
Good luck, sir. All right. Next case I've got is about 637-223, State of Texas versus Fred Vasquez Jr., represented by Ms. Suzanne Kramer. Ms. Kramer, are you ready to proceed?
I am.
All right. Mr. Vasquez and Ms. Kramer, I'm looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference. And it purports to have your signature on the back. Is this or on the front, actually? Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, sir.
And Ms. Kramer, as attorney for Mr. Vasquez, is this your signature on this document?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is a revocation of the defendant's community supervision, and the defendant has a right to appeal the court's actions revoking the community supervision, but not the underlying conviction. Is this your signature on this document, Mr. Vasquez?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Kramer, as attorney for Mr. Vasquez, is this also your signature?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Representing the state is Ms. Alexis O'Connor. Representing the Bear County CSCD is Ms. Susan Gross, who has been previously sworn. This is a seconded motion to revoke community supervision. And my understanding is this is uncontested. Is that correct, Ms. Kramer?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Vasquez on cause number 637223, second amended motion to revoke community supervision. How do you plead, sir?
True.
And Judge, I just want to say for the record, he's willing to plead and accept responsibility as a plea of true and all. But I just wanted to point out that he actually did register for the CATS program, but he got arrested. So he knows that he's probably going to have to, if you continue him, start over.
I'm going to stay true with an explanation because some of these things you may or may not have done, we don't even know, right? All right, fair enough. Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court and the parties of the status of Mr. Vasquez's probation?
Yes, Your Honor. He's been reporting as directed. We last saw him on May 6th of 2021. We have not received any effort on making any payments. He has a balance of $121 and he is delinquent $362. There's been no record of any of his 36 hours of community service having been completed. He's had 3 positive drug tests, 1 negative drug test. The 3 positives were all for alcohol. 1 was via drug testing and 2 were via the Smart Start mobile, where he is testing 4 times a day. He's had 8 skips and a high BRAC of 0.23, and he's been in lockout since June 3rd of 2021. We have no proof of enrollment or completion of the Victim Impact Panel, DWI Intervention Program, or the CATSNP program. He has 2 prior arrests for possession of a prohibited knife and DWI, and his officer is recommending that he be placed on Scram in lieu of the Smart Start mobile device.
And
hang on just a second. Susan, how many skips when he was actually blowing in the machine before he went lockout? How many skips did we find?
8.
3?
8.
Oh, 8 over what period of time?
I believe that was a 1-month time period. 1 second. He had 2, April 1st to April 14th. And then he had 6 after that.
Okay, Ms. Kramer, go ahead.
Yes, Judge, I just want to point out, although Ms. Gross mentioned the money is absolutely not alleged in this MTR. So
Don't worry about money. We're good on the money.
okay. I spoke with, there's problems with this MTR. I don't think I'm going to get quite as loud as Ornilfo Ortiz did, since, I'm not representing my cousin. But he knows that he is, not really done what you want him to do. And I told him of the possible repercussions of an MTR like this. He is absolutely willing to go on Scram and pay the full amount. He knows that if he screws up at all on that, it's pretty much 0 tolerance and off to jail he goes. I also wanted to alert the court, yes, he is on Smart Start, so we would want that removed, but he also informs me that he is on house arrest, like GPS full house arrest. I guess maybe that's as a condition of the bond for the MTR, because I know initially he was remanded without bond. And he wants to be able to work and go to church on Sunday. So I didn't know if you might be willing to remove that completely, if you give him Scram, or take that down to a partial if you're so inclined to continue him. But as opposed to, some people I've listened to today in this MTR docket, he has actually recognized that he has a problem and he wants help, and he knows that he's kind of not done what you want him to do.
State recommendation?
Revocation, Judge.
And like I said, the recommendation, Susan, too, the recommendation from probation was Scram. I did talk to him, Judge, just to let you know, if you were inclined to revoke him, he was amenable maybe to SATIF, but I would prefer Scram 0 tolerance and just 1 screw up and off he goes to jail if he knows it.
Okay. Susan, what did you tell me about priors? 1 prior DWI and what, anything else?
Possession of a prohibited knife.
Hey, Ms. Kramer, do I have your permission to talk to Mr. Vasquez?
Absolutely.
Hey, Mr. Vasquez, what are you doing for a living, sir?
I got fired the day I got arrested. That's Tuesday. I'm a delivery driver. I was working for a pharmacy.
Okay, and I apologize, I missed some of that. Where were you working, I guess is the question?
I was working for a pharmacy, delivering medicines, medication.
Are you a pharmacist?
No, sir,
I-
just a
I
delivery
believe-
driver.
I think the judge would like to know which pharmacy or just generally all pharmacies.
The pharmacy is called the 15 RX.
Okay, Mr. Vasquez, in clause 637223, the court accepts your plea of true to all conditions on the motion to revoke probation with an explanation. I deny the state's motion to revoke your probation or to continue on probation with all prior requirements with no sanction at this time because I've got a year to hang over your head anytime I want to use it if you screw up again. I'm going to put him on scram for 90 days. If he does well for 90 days, Suzanne, we'll take it off, put him back on Smart Start mode. If he doesn't do well, you know what's coming.
I do.
I want him on weekly UAs. If he shows me 4 clean weekly UAs, we'll take him off of the weekly UAs, put him back on the month. I want substantial compliance in all other areas within 30 days. Which means anything you haven't done, you need to do, catch up on your monies, make sure any court, Susan, what courses has he not registered for or not active in that he needs to
He needs
do?
to register for everything.
He needs to register for everything. He's got VIP, DWI, intervention, CATSNP, and his community service.
He's been on probation since March of 21 and he hasn't done any programs. No wonder the state wants to revoke him. Oh my goodness. Okay. He needs to be registered for everything. He may not actually be starting, but within 10 days of right now, when he registered for everything, and within 30 days, we ought to be getting the program going and whatever else he needs to do. All right, Mr. Vasquez, are you willing to do all that? All right. And then we're going to recall all these bad things I did to him on pretrial, all his GPS and whatever other colorful things I did. It probably won't become active till tomorrow, because I'll send it in tonight.
Thank you, Judge, very much.
And that's basically it. All right. Any questions, Mr. Vasquez?
Any questions?
Any questions, Mr. Vasquez? All right.
Oh, we can't hear. Okay.
Good luck. Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you,
All right.
Judge. Susan, what do I need to tell him he needs to do?
Yeah,
You just want to text me later?
He's gonna receive an email with his amended conditions from his officer probably within the next 24 hours. It won't be today because we're not gonna get off of here in time. And then he'll sign those and it'll give him the instructions. He's gonna need to keep blowing in Smart Start until he gets strapped on Scram.
Okay.
Once he gets Scram, he can notify his officer or you, we'll verify it, and then we'll have judge sign a Smart Start removal order so he can turn that in. That way he doesn't have to pay for both. And then when he gets done with Scram, we can do a supplemental report, ask the judge to take that off, and he'll go back on Smart Start so that he can complete his term of time.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I've got Miss Delgado. What happened to Lillian Miranda? Was that set today or not? Pat, your microphone turned off.
You reset her
Okay.
once she hired an attorney.
All right. All good.
Do you have a reset date, Pat, so I can note it?
It's next Thursday.
Oh, okay. That's easy enough.
Okay, I've got clause 633205, State of Texas versus Ariel Renee Delgado, represented by Mr. Ivan Barrera. Once again, representing the state, Ms. Alexis O'Connor, representing the Bexar County CSCD, Ms. Susan Gross, who I remind is still under oath. And Ms. Delgado and Mr. Barrera. I'm now looking at a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Motion to Revoke Hearing by Video Conference that allegedly has both your signatures on it. Is this your signature, Ms. Delgado?
Yes, sir, it
Thank
is.
you. And Mr. Barrera, is this your signature?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. The next document I have is entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, which is marked, quote, is an adjudication of guilt. Following a deferred adjudication, the defendant has a limited right of appeal, unquote. Is this your signature on this document, Ms. Delgado?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Barrera, as attorney for Ms. Delgado, is this your signature?
It is, Your Honor.
Thank you. This is cause number 633205, motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Mr. Barrera, my understanding is this is uncontested. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So in clause 633205, Ms. Delgado, on the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, how do you plead, ma'am?
True.
And Ms. Gross, would you please advise the court, the parties, of the status of Ms. Delgado's probation?
Yes, Ms. Delgado has done well in her reporting. We last saw her on June 4th of 2021. Her case is paid in full. She has completed all 48 hours of her community service, as well as DWI education, victim impact panel, and CAT SNP. She has had 5 negative drug tests, 5 negatives and 1 diluted. She's currently testing on Smart Start Mobile at 4 times a day. To date, she's had 10 skip tests. And as for criminal history, she has 0 criminal history. And her officer is recommending that her Smart Start Mobile be increased to 6 times a day.
Let me take a quick break. I apologize. This is a Zoom thing. Somebody's banging on the door. Hang on just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Mr. Barrera, what do we got?
Yes, Judge. So one of the violations was the community service hours. She did make a donation, so that's fully satisfied. On the violation report, I only have 6 blows that were counted against her. 3 of those blows were they were late blows, Judge, and the other 3 were missed blows, but they were all in one day. In regards to the missed blows, from what I have, Judge, after speaking to my client, is on April 13th, she was scheduled to blow between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., and she blew at 4:41 a.m. April 25th, scheduled to blow between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. She blew at 7:30 a.m. And then on May 11th, she was scheduled to blow from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. She blew at 4:19 a.m. And then the other 3, again, they were all missed blows on the same day, but there's no excuse on that one, Judge. She just failed to charge the Smart Start Mobile.
Let me back up. Susan, did we have her on 6 blows or 4 blows?
She's on 4 blows a day, Your Honor.
And when someone's on 4 blows a day, there's one at like 4 or 5 in the morning, or there's a 2-hour window in there somewhere? What's that window?
They usually are given like a 5-hour window to sleep.
So what time would her blows have been required early in the morning?
She can probably best tell you that. It's probably between 5 and 7 a.m.
Does that sound like right, Ms. Delgado? Or do you,
Yes,
is
sir.
it earlier than that?
No, it's 5 to 7.
Okay. Okay, state recommendation.
Continue on probation, Judge.
Ms. Delgado, on clause 633205, court accepts your plea of true with an explanation. On the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision, I deny the state's motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision. Order you continued on deferred adjudication probation with all prior requirements. What does she need to do to successfully complete probation right now, Susan? She's done almost everything, I guess, except time.
She just needs to do her breath tests on time and stay out of trouble and submit to clean drug tests on time.
When does she come off probation?
She's on probation until April 2nd of 2022.
And she's on 4 blows a day currently, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, leave her on that. Mr. Brewer, you got any requests other than that? She's just gonna go back and be doing what she's doing, and she's admonished not to miss any tests. How's that?
Sounds great, Judge.
All right. Good luck, Ms. Delgado. Thank you, Mr. Brewer. Y'all are out of here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Delgado, there's not going to be any changes. Just contact your officer tomorrow. Let your officer know that you attended your hearing today and that the judge made no changes. And then moving forward, just set an alarm or do what you got to do, but don't come back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
Thank
good luck.
you. Thank you.
Okay, Your Honor, we still have Rios. That is Fernando Trevino's client. I have texted him. I've emailed Mr. Trevino. I have not gotten a response. I don't know what you want to do.
Let me call him and see if he's around. Hang on.
Okay.
Hello, Pat. How have you been?
I've been doing okay. It's good to see you. How's your mama?
She's doing fine. It's my dad that's having a little bit of problems.
Well, it's that age.
Yeah, especially when you don't take care of your diabetes.
Hey, well, you look great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Apparently I've lost 40 pounds. I'm a stunt double for Kermit the Frog now.
Nice. Can't beat that. As long as you lost it the right way and not because
While we're doing this, I think I'm going to work on sending that paperwork. How about that?
There you go. Hey, I was going to ask the judge as soon as he's off the phone about Mr. Orendane. I mean, I understand, the conviction and the probation stuff. I was going to ask him if he would consider a house arrest type of situation. Apparently, the guy's got a wife, second trimester, high-risk pregnancy, and he's the only one getting, that's taking care of things. But anyhow, I would see if that'll help him.
Yeah. See
But doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah.
But no, and Susan, of course, I've lost it the right way. I've been bike riding, walking, mowing my yard in the rain. Actually, you know what it is?
What?
I've been preparing all my own food for like the last 14 months. I think I've maybe eaten out 3 times.
That's the key. That's the key right there.
And
okay.
Mike, I'm sending it to you.
Trevino is coming back from the doctor as we speak, but he said in 5 minutes he can be on a computer and we can do that. Is that okay with you, Mr. Rios? We kept you around all day long. Sorry about that.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's just stand by for another 5 minutes and wait for.
Mike Zamora wants to approach, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
yeah, Mike.
I was just I told him not to hold his breath, but Mr. Orendane, who we just dealt with on that UCW MTR, he's got a wife that's in her first part of her second trimester. He's the one taking care of her. She's supposed to have some high-risk pregnancy. I was going to ask if you would consider the 30 days jail, if you could do it like in a house arrest situation with the GPS. And like I told him he's the one that created the situation. But in light of the fact that he's apparently taking care of his pregnant wife, I was just, and in light of the fact that he doesn't have a criminal history up till now, if you would reconsider maybe perhaps a house arrest situation.
No, but if you give me some medical documentation on his wife's situation, I'll look at that.
Okay, I will tell him to do that, and I will send it to your court, to your attention.
The fact that she's pregnant, congratulations.
I know.
I need to see something about some sort of serious issues with the pregnancy that he needs to be there for.
I will tell him what he needs then, and I understand that because the pregnancy exception doesn't apply to me, so I get it. Anyhow, I'll tell him what he needs to do, and I will get that paperwork to you, Pat, as soon as you send it to me.
Okay, I sent it to you already.
Okay.
I'm taking us off of YouTube.